Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. The CDL is back in business and welcome to a very entertaining first set of matches here at the opening weekends. Some upsets come through, some drama hitting the timeline. We are back in business, baby. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's just dive straight on into things. So Scum says, CDL is back in business today. Of course, Optic will play it tomorrow up against, I believe, the London Royal Ravens in a matchup that may be well harder than what some people predicted coming into things. This also a big storyline of the day was Tim the Tapman. So there were some co-streams that went on last year. I'm pretty sure Tim might have been involved in one or two. Courage definitely, I think, did a couple. We also had, who was it, Vicstar, right, did a couple of London ones last year. And the organisations themselves can sometimes do some. But this is something we've been talking about. Okay, if we go to Twitch, then we could do watch parties, right, for everyone. But obviously Tim the Tapman got permission to do so. And I tuned into his stream a couple of times during the evening. And he had more viewers than the CDL. The CDL was getting up to around 40k for some of the early games. And Tim's stream was at the same numbers, if not a little bit greater. So, well, on the whole, that is very impressive to start things. I'm sure there were loads of guys in there that were super new to the CDL that, well, enjoyed the very entertaining match of the day, especially when Tim gives his predictions and things don't necessarily work out as they might be expected to. But let's just dive on into these games. Firstly, kind of what was going on the production front, because I think there, well, as Nameless says, there's some snowstorm cancelled Veli's fight, therefore Nameless stepped in as the host for this time, but I thought that himself and Alicat did a great job on the desk. Casting was enjoyable today as well, just a really great start, all things considered. And also, this was the major one to me. I've kind of been used to tuning in, like in the UK, the game starts at 8 PM, and I've been used to tuning in like 5 past, 10 past 8, because I know they'll still just be chatting, right, until the game actually starts at like 20 past, and therefore everything gets delayed. But in fairness to Esports Engine, Adam Apicella said, I'm pretty sure at the kickoff, that they want to make sure the games are starting on time as much as they possibly can. And I mean, yeah, this game was scheduled for 8 PM. I tuned into the stream at like 8:02. The game was already underway. Like, absolutely fantastic stuff. Never seen this before. Like, it's really great to see, because I guess the CDL's idea was, okay, we started like 15 minutes late, therefore people will be turned up by that time. The problem is people just realize that it's going to start late and tune in later anyway. So this is just so much better, especially for European fans that are in more challenging time zones, to just start things a little bit earlier. And that is, to be fair, one of the benefits of online Call of Duty. Things tend to run a bit smoother. You don't have to like clear the main stage and the next team comes out. Like, you can crack on very quickly between the series a lot of the time, which is one benefit. Of course, we'd like to have everything be done on LAN, but let's dive into this first series. This was probably, I don't know what the quickest series was last year, but this might rival it, because this game, because it's played at such a fast pace, if games are being won in dominant fashion, like, the series go really quick, right? And this one was a great example. Ravens, who I've been kind of hoping would be good this year, I picked them to win earlier today in my predictions, like, but they completely dominated Mutineers this series. It was pretty insane. Game 1, 250 to 119. That can happen on Gather 2, but I mean, look at the scoreboard. Gizmo's plus 10, Afro's plus 6, Zero's just chilling, really. And I mean, yeah, the other side, they get completely wiped off the map. Game 2 is a very similar story. I was incredibly impressed, to be honest, with how London looked right here. Honestly, all of the rounds were pretty beautiful from the London guys. The coordination was fantastic. Nasty was just a monster in the search and destroy. I'm pretty sure he went 8-1. There was some sniper shots coming out from Zero. I mean, a really impeccable search and destroy from London. Florida looked like nowhere near the caliber of team that could take down a London roster playing this well with the potential that they have. They then go into the game 3 and win this one as well. And of course, the trash talk immediately starts in the timeline, right? Because we saw this tweet, I'm pretty sure we looked at earlier today, when Mutineers was saying London were going to win 0 matches, but it actually turned out Mutineers would win 0 maps in this series up against London. I mean, yeah, people were kind of going off at them, right? Zero comes out with this in response to this initial tweet, because I mean, yeah, they got completely wiped off the map in one of the most dominant series I think I've really ever seen. I mean, this was a 45-minute series. It was like 8:45 and the series was over a 3-0. I was like, what is going on? I mean, we don't really see that too often here in Call of Duty. And well, then some interesting tweets started to come out. Some people are certainly considering these excuses, which is probably fair at the end of the day, because when you lose a series 3-0, you start talking about the servers you're on, then, you know, of course, people are going to perceive it in that way, and maybe understandably so. As Skyz says, GG's London lost 3-0. I don't know why we played on Virginia. Those were the hardest kills ever. So I believe there was a big discussion on this last year that the CDL effectively decided the servers these matches will be played on, and there was some talk about the Optic versus FaZe match last year, where it was played on Atlanta server or whatever, but apparently Optic approved that. It was a bit of a weird one. But yes, supposedly, I guess the CDL decided they're going to play on Virginia server. I think the London guys are based in North Carolina, so not exactly sure what the geography looks like there, but he reckons that was pretty bad for them. Of course, was it bad enough to get 3-0'd in quite this manner? That's a question you could have, but as Vivid says, GG's London, not sure how the server choice was made, but it is what it is. So, I mean, yeah, definitely some interesting comments, like whether the CDL need to kind of think about their server choices going forwards, but I mean, yeah, still the Florida guys not happy about it. I was kind of wondering what the excuses might be from the Los Angeles Guerrillas guys if they went on to lose, but in fairness, they kept things pretty meager on the timeline. The overall standard stats for the series were pretty ridiculous. Gizmo with 1.7 in the hard point. I mean, look at these guys, just dominant. Yeah, European challengers certainly showing the talent is there for all to see at the present time. Let's dive into then that second series, LAG versus the Boston Breach. And yeah, this Bacage was pretty ridiculous to kick things off, right? I mean, this game one always goes down to the wire, it seems like, on this Bacage. Los Angeles Guerrillas actually clutch up. Once again, Boston Breach just find themselves on the losing end of it. And yeah, with Slasher making some great plays actually towards the end, getting the job done. Game 2, though, a very different story indeed. There was a 1v3 in this round when they're already down 4-0, but Capsidal started off this game 2 9-0. Yes, he lost this 1v1, but yeah, Cabin Search and Destroy just seems like an absolute monster. His post-game interview as well, like super humble, down-to-earth kid, really happy he's performing great, because in Search and Destroy, he was a real menace on the map. And I mean, yeah, he started off this game 9-0, as you can see, loses this 1v1, but of course, he had such a great start. They went on to win this map regardless. Then it was the control which really Los Angeles Guerrillas threw away. They lost 2 defenses on that map, and it was crazy the plays Nero was making. Definitely his post-game stats don't really show how impactful he was on that particular map itself. They get a load of kills on the final offense. They win that one. They go up 2-1 in the series, and then Tim the Tatman says, no way Boston will lose this series to LA, currently up 2-1 while I type this. So, well, very commonly, the Tim the Tatman curse, it's considered, in especially American football and stuff like that. If you tweet something like this, usually the team that's up will end up losing the series. It almost looked like it was going to go through, because on this Berlin hardpoint, there was, at this point, Tim the Tatman very confident, like at Boston, they've got control of the hill, they're up by 40 already, it looks like it's going to be done and dusted, but no, Los Angeles Guerrillas, they break in, they get some great rotations, they go like on a 32-11 streak or something, while Asim goes on like a 9 streak or 11 streak, I think it even was, 10 streak certainly, and then Los Angeles Guerrillas force it to a game 5, but once again, Capsule has a fantastic start in the final map, starts off 6-0, and yes, they went up 5-1, the Boston Breach guys, they almost, well, pull it back, the LAG guys, they brought it back to 5-4, but then at Boston closing out 6-4 and win the series. I'm pretty sure Huke dropped a donut as well, the last map is 0-8. So the only 2 players to drop a donut so far this season are Huke and Asim, both the SMG players of the Los Angeles Guerrillas. To be fair to Huke, he went 38-25, I'm pretty sure, on that game 4 to even get them to the game 5. But as Slasher says, GG's Boston, I'm so cursed, even Tim the Tatman can't save me. So Slasher reckons he's not in a good boat for this upcoming year. And well, as Asim says as well, today was the biggest disaster ever. No excuses, kind of maybe looking at what the Florida guys did and say, look, we're not going to say anything here. But yeah, started off super slow, choked that Gather 2 control. And the Boston Breach guys aren't convinced that these Tim the Tatman curses really mean all that much, but there was certainly some words being said on the tunnel. So entertaining stuff, great to see Tim the Tatman involved. And well, the curse maybe does not actually stack up in Call of Duty world, who knows, right? But I mean, yeah, these were the post-game scoreboards. Like, certainly Capsule, he was a complete menace on a lot of these maps. But I think TJ played really well as well. I don't really think the stats do TJ and Nero's performances here justice with just how impactful they were on some of these maps. So yes, Los Angeles Guerrillas starting 0-1, Boston get off to a 1-0 start, and let's dive into the final series of the day. And the final series was oddly reminiscent of what we saw at the Kickoff Classic, right? Seattle versus the New York Subliners. We saw them play out the kickoff event. It was a 1-0 early on. I'm pretty sure the Gather 2 hardpoint went in the favour of New York as Hydra makes some crazy plays. This time around, they don't have that same luxury in the hardpoints, and Seattle again and just really show dominance. We know that New York's preparation here wasn't quite so good. I honestly thought that a team like Seattle, similar really with a team like Boston, with their kind of young guys, not all that much experience in a LAN environment in front of a crowd, this type of stuff might well be even better online than they are on LAN. We maybe saw that today, right? Because New York didn't even win a map in this series as they did at the kickoff. But yeah, I mean, Seattle once again looking really strong indeed. Very impressive to me how good this Seattle squad are looking. Of course, we saw them go to the grand finals up against Toronto. I get reminded in a way of kind of that early, TK team, frankly, at the start of World War II with accuracy on. But it feels like this team has way more firepower than that team did, right? At the time, it was Chino, Accuracy, Kenny, and Theory that won the opening events, both back-to-back opening events at Dallas and New Orleans back in World War II. This time around, this team that Accuracy's managed to put together here with a lot more talent, actually, like raw firepower and gun skill than that Team Caliber team had, but still with all the kind of the teamwork advantages and the understanding the game advantages that Team Caliber team had, you now find yourself a very scary Seattle roster. And well, this game one, there were certainly some good plays being made, but it was not enough. It was actually a Seattle Surge that ran away with this quite comfortably, thanks in large part to Sib having an absolutely monster performance here on this map one. He went 39-22. Like, coming into this weekend, really, there was a lot of talk against Sib, Pred, one of these two is leading up the race for Rookie of the Year, and Sib was kind of stamping his authority on that one at the start of this series. Like, I mean, Clayster goes double negative, wasn't pretty on that side of things either. And then we go into this game 2 Search and Destroy. This was a really close back and forth one. Crimsix honestly was making some crazy plays. He nearly won a crazy round where he took down Accuracy. It was probably half a second off defusing the bomb just in time. But yeah, Seattle, they made some good rounds as well. I'm pretty sure New York had a slight early advantage early on. Then they go down 5-4. They have to make a really nice 2 versus 2 retake right here. Actually, Neptune defuses the bomb. There has been always some talk from the likes of Formal that some Halo kids never defuse. They'll never actually stick that bomb. But, I mean, still, Sid was just around the corner trying to get this one to happen. But Neptune hops on the bomb. Hydra covers him. It goes to around 11. But that is not enough. And New York Subliners lose the map regardless. Go all the way to a game 3. I mean, it was actually kind of incredible because Clayster had a great chance at a 1 versus 2. It really felt like Clayster was going to win this one. He took down, I'm pretty sure Sib it was, from the back. And then Pred was up top. He's kind of been the nemesis, frankly, of Clayster all game long. And it takes this gunfight. If he just, well, honestly, it almost felt like he was going to win that one. But Pred just about finishes off the job. I kind of like it in a way that the player cams are just slightly delayed. So, by the time they switch them, you get to see what the actual reactions are rather than just seeing it always in real time. Tim the Tapman, I guess, was supporting Clayster and the boys. But then it goes to this control, really. And this was the one where New York, it really felt like this was their chance to get back into the series. Again, you can see, I mean, it was Sib and Pred here. The two guys just dominating this search and destroy. They go up 2-0. As Chrome points out, I love watching the rookies take over. One of my favorite things to see every single year. And that's something that happens every single year at this point, right, as well. And especially these guys, great personalities as well. Exciting to see how this Seattle team will continue to progress. But then to still finish off the series. So New York had a great start to this Gamma 2 control. They went up 1-0 early on. They had a great round on their defense. They got a lot of kills on it. Then their next offense, it kind of reminded me of early Garrison, right? You guys might remember last year when it's pretty difficult if you don't get the spawn trap to win offenses on this map. Therefore, New York, given their kill advantage, basically decided to camp in their spawn and just not give away any kills to try and make sure they maintain their kill advantage, because it's kills, I'm pretty sure, right now with what determines who gets defense in round 5. Last year it was kills, then they changed it to being like ticks captured and stuff like this, which was much better. Hopefully they do a similar thing this time around as well, because we don't get these people camping in spawn the whole time. But still, Seattle tied up 1-1, then it goes 2-1 in favor of New York, but then it was that final round, really, game round 4, where all New York really had to do was just not get drastically outslayed. They'd get defense round 5, they'd have 70% chance or whatever, 75% to win the map right here. But instead they get monstrously outslayed. I'm pretty sure it was 26-17 or something. Accuracy had some crazy kills, and maybe by 1 or 2 kills or something, Chance was saying Seattle get defense on the round 5, and that probably made the New York guys lose complete full. They do a respectable job, honestly, of getting back in the game. They get that 8 point eventually. It was 15-15, but it's just so hard to break defense on this map when you spawn so far away, unless you get a crazy spawn trap. Pred at the end of the day was the one making the play once again, because it seemed like New York might have a chance. There was 9 seconds on the clock. There was about 3 or 4 of them over in that vicinity, but it was Pred with a nice flank through middle. Neptune had nothing he could do, and that closed out the series. So yes, New York really should have won this map probably, but they throw it away, especially that round 4 when the kills are on the line. They lose this map. They lose the series 3-0, and who knows how important map count could be down the line as well when it comes to kind of seeding, right? We know New York have a very difficult bracket for these upcoming, matches for the Stage 1 qualifier. Map counts might be very important indeed when it comes to determining seeding for the major down the line. And even with this dominant series victory, Accuracy even says he was losing mega full because he kept getting the packet burst and high server latency that entire series. But still, they come up with the 3-0. But that's where we're going to leave it to today. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button. Tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. I just like you should see it as well. And help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.